What's up, Hobby Maniacs? MBG here today with a really cool review for you. Everybody loves terrain out there, and I feel like I love it. I feel like you guys are no different. So I wanted to show off some really cool MDF terrain that comes out of the UK. It's a company called Wargame Mod. .co.uk. I'll flash the address right up on the screen here for you, and they got some really cool stuff. I kind of showcased, just kind of previewed some of this in a video earlier, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff they do here, and we'll definitely take a more in-depth look at it. But it's obviously, very well suited for Warhammer. They have some very specific faction kind of stuff for different factions in 40K, but you could also use this stuff for any near future or futuristic game system type that's out there. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. You could even maybe use it with the Battletech game as well. It might be a little bit out of scale, but it's still pretty cool stuff. And this one, I really love this power plant thing right here. And this thing is pretty cool. It's got moving parts, things separate right out, and it's a really big chunk of terrain too. So I can't wait to get this stuff painted up. It's going to be pretty spectacular on the tabletop, and it's just really good stuff. And for you guys out there in Europe, there isn't a whole lot of options for y'all because shipping's so expensive. There's a really good company down in Australia. There's a bunch of companies here in America. But I feel like for you guys in Europe, this is a home run for y'all because it's so close. It's basically right in your backyard. So definitely take a look at this because it is some spectacular stuff. Okay, so like I said, this is Wargame Mod's terrain. It's your traditional MDF, crazy hard, super customizable terrain that's very well detailed. You can tell, I believe Thomas is his name, that designed this stuff. He obviously has some sort of background, awesome attention to detail. I mean, you've got all sorts of little vents, all these little ladders, hatches. I mean, you've got, stuff moves, like you got these little, it's all really cool. And he's got like warning things burned in here, moving parts. I mean, this generator thing right here, spins. All sorts of stuff. Things are positionable. It's just really neat stuff. I mean, he even was like, didn't even try to reinvent the wheel. I mean, these are coffee stirrers right here, right? So you just kind of got to use what's available to you, and it's pretty cool. This stuff's amazing. It's a great scale. You can see Dante, jumping around over here, and I mean, it's just really cool stuff. So let's take a closer look. These are three kits that you can get from their website. So you've got the Ingot factory, which is kind of like a smelting kind of thing. You could always put some resin or glue and stuff in here and have it all dripping down and into the mold kind of pour things right here. Then you've got a rubbish burner, I think it's called. I don't know. It looks like Mr. Fusion to me from Back to the Future. So it's pretty cool looking. It's got this tower stack and then some sort of atom moleculizer thing right there, and then you've got your traditional kind of power plant thing in the back. That's a larger kit, so definitely going to block line of sight to a lot of models as far as 40K goes. But that's the beauty of this stuff, is you don't just have to use it for 40K. I mean, this stuff would be great for Infinity, any near future game, any a futuristic game for that matter. So let's take a closer look at the kits themselves. Okay, so first off, we have the rubbish factory, like I talked about earlier. This thing is pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's about 9 to 11 inches by 9 to 11 inches square. I don't have my ruler out. Actually, it's all packed away, so that wouldn't even help right now anyways. So like I said, it's kind of like this Mr. Fusion, kind of you just shove stuff into it to kind of, I guess, create energy sort of thing. So it's a pretty neat piece of terrain. Obviously, you can just kind of put guys all over it. They would have pretty good cover for whatever game system, you're using there. What I thought was pretty neat about this, besides all the detailing, all the little vents and all this stuff, is it actually kind of flips up here because it is, like that Mr. Fusion. I guess this is basically where the garbage gets put into these little masher things here to kind of create energy. So both of them flip up. Pretty neat stuff, And, I mean, it's a cool piece of terrain. It's going to block line of sight to a lot of vehicles, a lot of bigger walker things in 40K. I'm sure, it doesn't really fit in with fantasy, but like I said, you can kind of use it for any near future game or, kind of futuristic type stuff as well. This is the Ingot factory, which I guess is basically like a big smelter kind of thing. You got this big recess area where you can fill it with liquid, and then it kind of trickles down into here, and then I guess drips down into the molding area right here. These kind of I guess casts or casting tray kind of things. Like I was saying earlier, you know, these are just like coffee stirrers, you know, cut to fit at an angle into here, you know, and then locked right into these receiving kind of plate things. And then you got little windows and things like that. This little piece right here kind of reminds me of the Castellum Stronghold, that big square forge roll piece they came out with about 1.5 years ago. It's just very similar to me. I guess that's just kind of why I kind of pick up on that. But you know, you could easily make it into all sorts of different things. It's a nice big piece of terrain. It's about 12 inches square, and you know, it's very sturdy. These things, you know, you got to put them together. They're the traditional MDF kind of deal. You know, when you flip it over, this kind of fell off there, but that's okay. You know, you got your kind of traditional dealie right there, so it doesn't, you know, it's not super heavy. I mean, this might be 2 or 3 pounds, maybe a pound. I mean, it's not very heavy at all. And you can base it however you want, it looks like. You know, you got this nice sturdy MDF kind of base right here to put everything onto. And you know, I know when you work with this sort of thing, you probably want to coat it with like a little bit of glue, or just matte coat it first so your paint and your textures and things will stick to it a little bit better, in my opinion. But the cool thing about this site is he has all sorts of user guides there, like how to do stenciling, how to put your stuff together, etc., etc. So pretty cool stuff. You know, it's great looking terrain, and I'm sure it would look even better painted up. Okay, so last but certainly not least is the biggest kit we're going to review today. This is the power generator, and you know, this is a really cool piece of terrain. It's this pretty much the standard 12 by 12 square, but you know, it's obviously got a bigger footprint. It's probably about 12 inches high to right here, and 8 to 9 inches high to, you know, this deck right here. Obviously very well detailed. You know, you got these crazy, you know, details here, some thermal output kind of things, some buttresses, you know, some low profile buttresses. Again, we're seeing, you know, the little plastic coffee stirrers. So if you pick up some of this terrain, you might have to go to 7-Eleven or your local corner store and raid some of their coffee stirrers, because you're going to need a bunch for this particular kit here. You know, it's got lots of places on it that you can do things with your models. You know, if you had a dreadnought or something over here for 40k, it would definitely kind of you know, be hauled down and things like that. Tanks, even Night Titans would probably get some cover behind this. As far as some of the other games go, like Infinity, you know, your tags and things like that are definitely going to get a lot of cover as well. So I wanted to kind of show you a lot of this kit because it's a really cool one. So back here you got more of these coffee stirrer kind of like cabling things, lots more details. You know, you got the stacks here, and then you got this cool power generator that I bumped, and it probably, there we go. So you got this power generator. If you build it right, the darn thing spins. It's crazy. I mean, this thing's really neat. I can't wait to get some paint on these. So you got that, and what's even cooler about this is it pops right off. So, you know, if you need to get in there for whatever reason, or you want to make it like a separate kind of piece of terrain, that's pretty cool too, and just, you know, put your own stuff in there. And then on this side here, it's just a standard kind of, you know, it kind of looks like some little Astartes terrain kind of sort of thing right there. But still pretty cool. I mean, I guess you could put this up here if you really wanted to, you know, have some sort of crazy. But that thing would be pretty big at that point. So a very cool piece of terrain. You know, this MDF stuff, it's you know, it's not that hard to put together. You just got to get, you know, a lot of this is like systems in and of itself already assembled for you, so it's not too crazy. But you know, it is a little bit of work. It's just like any kit. Now this thing's got a little bit of a cutout on the inside just so it's not as heavy, and you know, it doesn't take up as much useless space. Everything slots together pretty well. You know, it's all CNC catted that you get the precise coordinates. So just obviously never try to force anything when you're working with stuff like this, because chances are you might be doing it wrong, because it's designed to actually only work one way and have pretty tight tolerances. So don't bust your terrain, because this stuff is very pretty. I mean, I can't wait to get some paint on this. I think it's some of the cooler stuff out there. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of MDF terrain This stuff's cool because it's out of England, you know, so a lot of you European players and hobbyists could pick it up and not have to worry about shipping, because I'm sure shipping would be a thing here in the States. You know, I'm not exactly sure how much the shipping would cost. I think I want to say I got a big box full of it, and it wasn't too bad. I think it was right around 40 or 50 bucks for. But it came pre-assembled, so, and it actually made the trip. I didn't have to repair anything. It was, you know, I got it pre-assembled. So obviously very sturdy stuff. If it can come across the ocean and not get destroyed, it can probably sit on your gaming shelf and or a gaming table and not get destroyed as well. So very cool stuff. Thanks for checking out this review / unboxing of Wargame Mod's terrain. It's MDF custom terrain, a whole sorts of stuff over there. I think there's like 50 some kits. There's stencils, there's all sorts of little things here and there, stuff specifically designed for certain factions as well. So definitely hop on over there. We'll flash the address up on the screen there so you guys can check it out, because it's really cool stuff. I mean, who doesn't love moving parts and machine gun noises and pew pew lasers? Alright guys, make sure you stay in the trenches, subscribe to this YouTube channel, check out the blog, spikybitsblog.com, and listen to our podcast, forgethenarrative.com. Yo hobby maniacs, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget, there's tons of other tutorials, unboxings, and tips and tactics videos on here as well. And make sure you visit my best friend Kenny B's fresh hobby channel over on Next Level Painting.